Look how he took the hook. He's got both of them, his top lip. So he attacked that jerk bait from the side. It's a beautiful day at the fishing hole. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of Keeping KastKing Lit with me, Joel P. Hey, if you're new to the channel, I want you to click that like button, click that subscribe button, just so you get notified, or in the little bell dinger, just so when you get notified that we're doing shows, you know, because we do like to do a lot of shows for you guys. You know, a lot of how-to videos and tackle tips and gear tips, and click that button, get notified. So today's show is going to be about jerkbait fishing. You know, I'm here at one of my local ponds. It's going to be kind of a challenge, but it's going to be fun. And there's nothing like a jerkbait bite. You know, for the last week or two, you know, we've been down into like the mid to upper 30s. You know, today's kind of a warm day, but I expect that water temperature to be kind of cold. So, and this is definitely one of the times that a jerkbait shines, is that cooler water. You know, and the jerkbait is a bait that you impart all the action to. And depending on how you work your rod and your reel and how heavy a line you have or how light of a line you have, it definitely makes that experience a lot better. So this time of year, what I like to do, you know, when the water's cooler, or cold, I'm not going to say cooler, but cold. One of the things I do is I go with a lighter line. And not only do I go with a lighter line, you know, my rod's it's a jerkbait rod. Like, and I'll get it out for you guys and show you here. So this is my normal cooler water jerkbait setup. And the reason why I say this is because the line is probably only, I think this is like actually 8-pound test. I have another rod set up that I use, and it's a spinning rod, and that one is actually 6-pound test. Now in the summer I use a totally different rod, and it's a medium heavy action, and I'll go up to actually no more than 12-pound test line on that rod. And the reason why I do that is because I'm working it a lot faster, for one, and it's almost a constant jerk with like a little bit of pauses, but I'll kind of switch up how many jerks I'll add to it. So, and that's definitely the thing in the summer that you got to keep in mind is, you know, summer jerkbait fishing compared to early spring or that late fall jerkbait fishing is going to be a little bit slower. How you work your jerkbait is going to be a little bit slower. I'm going to grab my gear and we are going to head out and just kind of make a couple of casts, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So see you guys in a second. So once again, we're going to crank down about 6 cranks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm assuming that's the depth I need it now. So I'll start working it nice and slow. Start on a slack line, end on a slack line. If you keep that line tight, what's going to happen is you're going to inhibit the action of that jerkbait. So you're actually going to be defeating yourself, and that's not what you want to do, especially if you're just starting out jerkbait fishing. You know, you want to have every option to catch a fish on that jerkbait as you can. And that's why I said go to one of your ponds that no matter what you throw in it, you always seem to catch fish, and that'll definitely build up your confidence, and it'll help you learn some stuff too, your different cadences and how slow or how fast you want to work that jerkbait. Now for me, it's not so much when I'm working a jerkbait, it's not so much that I reel in a lot. What I usually do is I'll just pick up some of the slack, is all I'll do. You know, and that's kind of how I work it. But I always keep that slack line. So in the summertime, what I'll do, like I said, I'll switch to a medium heavy power rod and a fast action, and my line size will upgrade as well. And I'll usually put on nothing bigger than a 12-pound test. Always use fluorocarbon, and the reason why is, one, fluorocarbon sinks, you know, so it helps out. And then the other thing too is fluorocarbon's almost invisible to fish. In the summer, like I said, when I'm fishing a jerkbait in the summer, I fish it a lot different in the summer compared to the winter months. So I work my jerkbait a lot faster in the summer. Like, let's say this is just a medium power rod, you know, medium power fast action, Speed Demon Bassinator, or Speed Demon Pro actually, with the Bassinator reel on it though. So I can get a nice long cast out of this. Now, so I'm going to show you how I do this in the summertime. So in the summer, I'll get it down to where it needs to go, 6, 7 feet, wherever, or to its operating depth, and I'll work it. You know, I'll just work it, and I'll keep working it. And sometimes I'll even do it harder. I will do it harder in the summer, but I don't pause a whole lot, or not as long, I should say. I pause, but not as long. You know, and that's how I work my jerkbait in the summer compared to the winter. And the reason why I use that medium heavy rod is because I'm jerking it. I mean, I am really literally going after it. You know, So once again, key is a long cast. Get it down to that operating depth where it should be, and then just work. In the wintertime, work it slower, longer pauses, because like I said, the fish they're not going to really chase it like they would in the summertime. Their whole purpose is to conserve energy through the winter. So with that longer pause, it acts as a dying fish. So that'll draw them out. So don't be afraid to throw your jerkbait around cover. Yeah, you'll probably snag up. Yeah, you'll probably lose a couple or lose a bunch of fish. But the thing about it is a jerkbait will shine around cover. It has a potential to pull fish out, and they'll kind of tell on themselves where they're hiding. The water clarity right now isn't super clear. I think I might have a visibility down to looking at this. I could kind of see the end of this concrete pillar here, or this concrete laying in the water. So I'm guessing about maybe 5 feet. It's an overcast day. Water, there's not really hardly any wind, or a breeze, and that's fine. That is fine. You know, because I am sure I will still catch. I'm confident enough in working a jerkbait that I will catch. Oop, that's not a fish though. A snag. And the good thing about, oh, that is a fish. Look at there. There you go. Not big, but it'll do. It's first fish today on the jerkbait. Water temp is cold. You know, fishing that with the Speed Demon Pro rod, Bassmaster Elite. So the one way you can see this fish hit it right at the that front hook. So that tells me a couple of things. This color is going to work out good. This is what they're going to probably go after. So now I just got to get into the right spot to catch the bigger fish. All right. So the hits you're going to get on a jerkbait, this was definitely on a pause. You know, especially this time of year. Cooler water temps. This fish is definitely cold, so this is going to make for a fun day unhooking. He's almost as big as, he's a little bit bigger than the jerkbait. There he goes. But you can see cover, like I was saying before, cover, because that's where I caught this. I caught that bass right off the edge of this. I don't know if you can see it, but right off the edge of this little pillar, concrete pillar running into the water. So a lot of time your strikes are going to come on the pause, and you're not going to do a hard hook set. Because what you want to do, I'm going to get this back down, what you want to do is more of a sweeping hook set. You know, these hooks, I've never had problems with hooks on a jerkbait when I bought it. You know, especially some of the more popular jerkbaits. You know, the hooks seem to be fairly sharp. All I'm going for is a sweeping hook set. You know, the fish will hook themselves. If you have a fish that hooks itself on its back, you know, that's going to tell you that that fish kind of more than likely just swiped at your bait. All right, so I moved spots. You know, I'm thinking this spot's I'm going to be able to catch a couple on the jerkbait. It looks like it needs to be fished with a jerkbait. Wind is blowing. This one that I got dives a little bit, a little deeper. So there's 3 different diving depths of jerkbaits. So you got your shallow range jerkbaits, and they run from 0 to 3 foot. You got your mid-range jerkbaits that run from 4 to 7. And anything over 7, it's going to usually have 7+ or whatever, but it's going to run to 7 feet and beyond. Now those are deep cranking jerkbait. Thing with this jerkbait is it's a suspending jerkbait. So not only can I get it down deep, but I can keep it down deep. A lot of the things you can do too when you're jerk and pause, instead of reeling it in, just pull it back a lot further than normal. You know, don't get a jerk into it. Just nice and, especially in colder water, just nice and easy, draw it back. Because what that'll do on a suspending jerkbait is once you start pulling that line, it's going to cause it to go back down to either its depth or, you know, a little bit shallower than what it was in the beginning. But so that's one way you can work a jerkbait. Yeah, so let me cast this one out and let's see what we do. Look how he took the hook. He's got both of them, his top lip. So he attacked that jerkbait from the side. So he wanted it. Gobbled it. This is what fishing a jerkbait can do for you, especially when it's cold. But you can also do this technique in the summer, and you'll either catch some nice big ones or you'll catch a bunch of little ones. But hey, it's still fun catching them on a jerkbait. You know, this one's fat. I can feel it. Fat, fat, fat. Hey, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep fishing. You know, catch some more hopefully. But anyway, this is currently what I'm throwing right now because of the watercolor, and this is what I just pulled off of it. So remember the key steps to a jerkbait fishing. 1, the longer the cast, deeper you can keep it down where it needs to be. 2, don't over jerk it or in the winter like you can in the summer. slow down your presentation, your cadence. Your line size definitely in the winter is going to be different than you use in the summer. Technically, I mean, generally speaking, I use a different line size. I usually upgrade my line size to heavier line. Let's get this girl back in the water. I usually upgrade my line size in the summer because I work it hard. Like, I just work it hard. You know, I'm snapping it really quick. So I definitely want a heavier line. The lightest you can go on some of the finesse jerk baits, so the really smaller ones, like this one here, you know, I'm thinking this is probably 4 to 6 pound test, and that's as light as you want to go. The heavier the jerk bait or the bigger the jerk baits, you know, you can run them at 6 pound test in the winter, 6 up to 8, but you don't want to go any bigger than 12 pound test. That's kind of where you want to keep it, is 12 pounds. If you use anything too heavy, you're really going to just not allow your jerk bait to get down to a certain depth. If you change out your hooks, only use one size bigger than what originally comes on the jerkbait itself, and that's about it. Hey, you guys enjoy your day. Like I said, I'm going to catch a couple more jerkbait fish, and we'll see you guys again later. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for keeping KastKing lit with me, Joel P. Leave me some comments below. Tell me what you think. If you fished a jerkbait before and you love fishing jerkbaits, hey, let me know. If you haven't fished a jerkbait but you want to try, hey, leave the comments down below. And even if you have fished a jerkbait, never caught anything, and you swore up and down you'd never fish a jerkbait again, tell me why. All right, guys, I'm going to go fish. Have fun. It was enjoying talking to you. See you next time.